أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على مولانا رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Our praise and thanks are due to God, most merciful, most compassionate, and peace be upon His messenger and His family and companions and His followers and all the ummah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. This is one of the reminders of Ramadan. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to benefit us from them, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect our fasting, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to raise and heighten, to raise our fasting to a level in which we benefit from it and we benefit people around us from it. Allahumma ameen, Allahumma ameen, Allahumma ameen. Fasting is a worship, and this worship is always complemented with other worships. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he mentioned fasting in Ramadan, there is a sunnah of the Taraweeh, and there is the sunnah of the Taraweeh, and there is the sunnah of Qiyamul Layl and Tahajjud and all of that. And I know that this happens to all of us, that when Ramadan comes, we really want to do a lot, and we want to increase our prayers. We want to do all the non-obligatory nawafil and we want to stand up for Qiyam Layl, and we want to read the Quran, and we want to do tasbih, and we want to do all of that. Which is all good and excellent and very advisable, and it's very important to do, to protect our fasting and to raise the level of our Ramadan so we can benefit from it as much as we can. The problem with this is that the random ibadah sometimes might have a very contradictory effect, and in the sense that you start your first week of Ramadan with the zeal, and you start praying and doing all of that, and you can't sustain it. And then the next week you feel tired and feel exhausted, especially with the long day of fasting and with work and all of that. And you start feeling the guilt and you can't do it. And then your resolution is down, and it's very hard to pick up yourself again. By the time you pick up yourself and you start rejuvenating yourself again, it's the third week or the fourth week of Ramadan, and Ramadan is gone, and you're still struggling on how to regain your first stage that you start with Ramadan. So, and that's why the doctors of the hearts, the doctors of the spirituality in Islam had given us a lot of tools to deal with worship in Ramadan. First, let's have what we call a wird. You can't randomly just do ibadahs like that. You can, of course you can. You can do whatever you want. But for the ibadah to be very beneficial and to have an impact on your heart and have an impact on your behavior, it has to be done in a very organized way. So let's all have a wird. Now you're asking yourself, like, what is a wird? A wird in Arabic is the translation that they give for it is a litany. But the translation of the word wird is, the etymology of it is from warada, and the word warada has a lot of derivatives, or the root warada has a lot of derivatives. It means that, so the wird means that it's the place where you go to get water, to fetch water. So they call the wird the flocks of birds or the herds of animals who come to the water at a certain time of the day. At the end of the day, they come to water. They call that act a wird. If you go and you want to fetch water, then that act is called wird. Right? So you go at certain time, especially at the Arab time, at the pre-Islamic time, and the pre-modern time, the Arabs used to take the camels to drink right after Maghrib, or right before, or a little before Maghrib, and they call that the wird. Right? That's the time in which they yuwarriduna, so they give drink to their camels and to their beast. For us, the spiritually took this word from its literal meaning to the spiritual realm to mean that this is the time in which we replenish our spirit. This is the time in which we rejuvenate, we give life. Water is life, right? We give life to our spirit. We give life to our heart. We give life to our inner being. by doing a type of worship that we do almost every single day. We do every single day at the same time, almost at the same time. We try our best to do it at the same time. If it's not at the same time, at least let's do it at a time. Let's do it at least every single day. And that prescribed amount of worship, amount of litanies that we have, that I'm going to describe a little after that, has to be done in a very moderate way. Start with something that you can handle. Start with 1 page of the Quran if you're not able to read every single day. If you are able to read and your reading in Arabic is good, then you have to do at least 1 hizb, more than what you do in every single day. Do at least half a juz, or quarter of that every day. And then the first week, that's all you do from the Quran. That's all you do. You can add to it as long as you get, as far as you go in Ramadan. You can add to it little by little, but don't start with something that is so high, and then you end up losing every single thing. Same thing, diversify your ibadah, diversify your word. The Prophet ﷺ used to have a word of Quran which prescribed amount of the Quran that he would read every single day. The Sahaba also, they used to finish the Quran in a week. This is regardless of Ramadan. So in a week they finish the Quran. That's their word every single day. Also, the word is the amount of prayer that the Prophet ﷺ used to pray at night. So Sayyidah Aisha used to say, إِذَا نَامَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ عَنْ وِرْدِهِ. So if the Prophet slept from doing his wird, from praying at night, so she called that wird a time in which the Prophet ﷺ is spiritually replenishing himself. So he stands up from almost 3 quarters of the day, of the night, worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what the Prophet ﷺ could handle. For us, if we wake up 5 minutes before Fajr, now we're waking up for suhoor, let's wake up at time of the suhoor and stay a little so you can pray for your rak'at with our spouses and with our children if they can, and pray 2 rak'at, pray 4 rak'at, pray 6 rak'at, something that you can handle, something that you can do in every single day. And also from tasbih and from dhikr, every single day after you pray Fajr, let's sit down, face the Qibla, stay there where you prayed, sit there for 15 minutes. No more than that, 15 minutes every single day. Say La ilaha illallah. Say Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Say La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu ala kulli shay'in qadir. Say Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah 100 times. Say Astaghfirullah 100 times. And say La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul hamdu ala kulli shay'in qadir 100 times. The Prophet ﷺ used to do it every single day. Every single day. The Prophet ﷺ used to sit down, face the Qibla after Fajr, and he would do that every single day. Ibn Taymiyyah, rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, used to sit between Fajr and Dhuhr to make dhikr every day. And he used to say, that is my spiritual nourishment. That is my spiritual nourishment. If I don't do it, I would die. Which he doesn't mean physical death, he means spiritual death. So each one of us has to have a spiritual refuge in those moments of intimacy with the divine. You have to sit down with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a moment of serenity, a moment of peace. Sit down and open the Quran and read an amount that you can sustain the whole month, that you can increase, not decrease the whole month. And that's my advice for today. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who are very cautious with their time, and among those who can keep their word. And the Ahmad ibn Ata'illah secondary, I'll leave you with this. He used to say, only an ignorant person would undermine the effect of the word. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.